Welcome to Writing Made Easy. The purpose of this video is to show you APA 7th edition, the student version. There are two versions in 7th edition of an APA paper. One is student, one is professional, so make sure that you ask your instructor which they prefer. There's also the 6th edition, which many of the instructors are still using. So please make sure that you are supposed to be using the 7th edition. Some things have changed. To make these videos short and concise, I would like to start with just the cover page. There will be two subsequent videos to help you with the content page and the references page. And I will also give you a gift, which is a template that you can use to replace with your information so that you have something that's easily accessible and correct for you to use at college. Or wherever you're using it. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing you want to double check is to make sure that your margins are correct. Now, the easiest way to do that is to go to your layout. You'll click margins and you'll make sure it's set on 1 inch, which it is. If it's not, you'll go ahead and do that, and voila, you have your 1 inch. The next thing that you want to do is to enter your page number. So we're going to go insert. If you move your cursor all the way over, you're going to see page number. You're always going to go top of page, plain number 3. Now, something that you may not notice that I do as an instructor who's seen hundreds of these is that this number right here is in the incorrect font. You're usually going to use Times New Roman as a rule of thumb. So this says Calibri. You want to go to Times New Roman, and you also want that set on 12. Now there's two ways that you can set that font there. This little box, if it doesn't pop up, don't panic. Go ahead and select the number, and all you have to do is go to your home key, and you're going to see the pull down box, the very same pull down box, so that you can correct that. Now, one thing students always ask is, do I need a running head? 7th edition does not, I repeat, not require a running head on the student version. That is the professional version. So if you double click down in your body, you can get out of your header really easily. One thing that you'll notice immediately is that it says Calibri body. You want that on Times New Roman. I know it seems redundant, but it's something that you have to change, and you want to go to 12. Another thing that Word does that I'm not a fan of is that it puts extra spacing in. So the next thing that you want to do is go to your up and down arrow, and you want to click down, and you want to hit remove space. Right? So you don't want the extra space before or after. And you also want to hit 2.0. So one of the things you're going to look for there is anything down here that says remove. That means that there's automatically default spacing added in there, and you don't want that. So now we're on 2, and we also don't have extra line spacing. There are other ways to do that through line spacing option, but I just think this is the easiest. So once you get back here, the very first thing that you want to do, because you can't enter your information on the first line here, is to hit 1, 2, 3 on your enter button. That's where you're going to start typing your information. And the very first thing that you're going to do is center and bold your title. So here's the easy center. Here's the easy bold. You can also use home keys to do that, but that's the easiest way that I think students can do that. So the very first thing you want to do is come up with a title. Your titles are in title casing. So title in title casing. So it's not all in lowercase, you notice. Then you hit enter. Now the second line can be a subtitle. If you have a subtitle that's part of your title, you might want to put a colon and put the subtitle here, but in most cases you're not going to need a subtitle. Now one thing, remember, we have this bolded, so we have to make sure we unbold it. You can either click the bold button or you can hit the control key and B at the same time and see how it removes the bold. The next thing that you want to do is your first, middle, and last initial. So we're going to do Jack B. Jones. That's a nice generic name. And then the next thing you want to do is your department. So in my case, I'm in the English department, or arts and humanities. And then I'm just going to choose a school. It's one of the schools that I attended in my undergrad. I put Western Kentucky University. So whatever school that you're at, it's your department, comma, and the school that you're at. Now the next part is your class. So if I were teaching a certain class, let's say English 300, and we'll just do composition 2, so level 2 of composition. And it's okay to write it this way in this version. So after that is your teacher's name. They might be doctor, they might be professor, whatever their title is they use. And we're just going to do Dr. Adams. We're going to hit enter, and the next is the date. It's a normal date formatting. So if you did April 14th, 2020, or whatever date that you're turning that in. Generally, I tell students it's the turn-in date, but it might be the date that it's due. You may want to ask your instructor. So again, this is 7th edition student version cover page. Please look for the next video if you'd like to know how the next content page is set up. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you'll subscribe for upcoming videos on all different types of formatting and writing tools. Thank you. Have a good day.